Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't know what to say. I'm just trying to convince every one of you guys to stop going to school, which some may say that coming from a 15-year-old, that might sound like I just don't like school, which I've heard from my parents and other people's parents as well. Oh, you don't like it because you just don't want to go to school. I have reasons why I don't want to go to school, and I think there's good reasons to believe why you shouldn't go to school and why you should actually homeschool. I've learned a lot more while homeschooling. If you're watching this part of the video and if you're with someone like with an actual kid, then I would probably not watch this video just because some not good stuff. And I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to deal with a Maryland teacher's aide seen masturbating during Zoom lessons with kids. So yeah, this guy was on camera doing this while watching kids on Zoom class. Now, this is a very rare event, of course, a very rare occurrence. You're not going to see this all the time. But I'm just trying to give you more examples as to why you shouldn't go to school and why you should take your kids out of school, why you should homeschool, why you should make sure that they actually have principles, ethics, and morals, and that they can grow up and be good people. But the big story today is about La Mesa, California trustee gets caught on video saying that returning to in-person learning is a very white supremacy ideology and telling fellow board members to check their privilege and that mandating in-person instruction is slavery.
Are we forcing people? That seems like a very white supremacist ideology to force people to comply with, and conform. Just letting them. Privilege. Check it, you guys. I'm at. So I don't want to be a part of forcing anybody to do anything they don't want to do. That's what slavery is. I'm not going to be a part of it.
Meanwhile, you have kids having a 13% literacy rate in different schools. We're not teaching them anything. They're not learning anything, nor do they want to learn because they're being forced to learn. It's a very strange thing. When you're forced to learn something, you end up not wanting to learn. And that's what happens after you have these people sitting down with the school board and not talking about anything important and instead talking about how it's so white supremacy of you to do this. It's not a meme anymore. It's true. And it's happening all across the country. There are so many people that don't know how bad it actually is, and people need to wake up to it. A lot of parents don't even understand. They keep sending their kids to school, and I don't blame them. I don't think they're bad because they keep sending their kids to school. I think you're only a bad person if you know this is happening and you keep sending your kids to school. Because, yes, homeschooling might be a bit more difficult for you, but it's a long-term thing. It's a long-term thing that you need to dedicate yourself to, and it's going to make your life better in the long term. It's going to make your kids' life better in the long term, which is so much better than saying, I can't really afford to do homeschooling. That is a lot better, because then this is going to happen. Check your privilege, and mandating in-person instruction is slavery. Now, I do actually kind of agree with that point that it's not good to make people do something and that it's not good to make kids go to school. If you make kids go to school, they're going to end up not wanting to learn and they're going to end up not learning anything because well, they don't want to learn. It's a very strange thing that happens, but it does happen and it's a very true thing. So I do kind of agree with that even though it's a little ridiculous. But other than that, it's a white supremacist ideology to have kids go to school. Even the Chicago's Teachers Union, I think they deleted this tweet, but they had a tweet saying that it was racist and white supremacist to send kids back to in-person learning. And the proper response to that is to say, well, okay, sounds good. I'm going to be an anti-racist and not send my kids to school and homeschool them. But once you start telling people you're going to homeschool your kids, then they're going to start calling you a racist and they're going to start saying that your kids are going to be incredibly stupid. But it's funny how that works. The stupid people get called smart and the smart people get called stupid, not because it's a natural thing that occurs within humans, but because of school. And school is not a natural thing. Going to school is not a natural thing for humans, and it never should be. It never will be a natural thing for humans because it's anti education. Think about it. School is anti education. It's strange because everyone thinks, "Oh, go to school, you learn how to read, write," but kids aren't learning how to do any of that stuff. Kids aren't learning how to read or write or do math. And then science class. Well, science class is just all climate change. The world's going to start collapsing in 12 years because the ice caps melt, and it's all this like scary stuff, so then kids don't want to grow up. Because if kids don't grow up, then they'll have the adults to always deal with it, which is why nowadays we have so many adult children walking around, and it's not their fault. It's actually the fault of the education system. The education system. Which is funny how that works because I keep remembering the times where I would hear my parents say, you need to go to school because you need to learn how to read, write, and do basic things. Yet, I wasn't really learning how to do that. My dad taught me how to read. He also taught me how to write for the most part. And then, going back to the homework thing, they send kids back with homework every night, expecting us to learn anything from it, when our parents don't even remember what happened at school. And then they tell our parents, "Oh, you should help your kid with the homework tonight." But our parents don't even remember how to do these certain math equations. Mainly, for the most part, it's math. And then I was talking about this with my dad the other day, and he goes, "Well, why do you have homework if you're at school for 7 hours? Why do you have homework? Why do you have homework if you're at school for 7 hours and you do nothing at school, and then they expect me to go and learn something at home that I don't even want to learn, that I don't care about?" It's funny, but I'm really just expressing what I know for a fact almost all kids think, at least according to this one thing. Because almost all of us have experienced it. Almost all of us have experienced at least public school or private school. And nowadays they act as one. They're the same thing nowadays. Yeah, private school is a bit better quality, but it still sucks. Still sucks. And it's actually really terrible for your kid. So this is what they're saying. Not me. I'm just repeating it back to you. This is what your kids' teachers are saying. This is what your teachers are saying. And I know a lot of kids are agreeing with me. It's not just college. We all knew years ago that college was terrible and that most of the time you don't learn anything. You have gender studies, all of that, and they force you to do it many times. But it's not just college. And it's not just public school. It's public and private school from preschool all the way up until college. So the whole thing is screwed over. It's not worth it anymore. Homeschooling is the best option. Your kid's going to be happier. They're going to have a better life if they homeschool. They're going to learn a lot more. They're going to learn how to read and write. They're going to have a desire to read and write, to do math, science. It's going to be much more unbiased. It's going to be better learning. They're going to be better at one specific topic that they're eventually going to choose. And then you'll be happier to see your child grow. You'll be proud of them. And I think that's enough. Plus, the amount of money you have doesn't matter nearly as much as your child does. It doesn't. And I don't think parents think that way, for the most part. But homeschooling is the best option. This is just another reason why. And I keep getting tons and tons more video ideas from the things I've seen, TikToks, a lot of those small, short videos from teachers. I keep seeing a lot of these Zoom meetings. I keep seeing all of this, and it's just insane, the amount of stuff that's coming out now. And if you don't understand now that you have to take your kid out of school, then I can't help you.